What's up, Flow Traders? We've got a special edition of WTF for you today about ETFs. Yep, I said it, ETFs. We've got a special bonus ticker at the end for you. So having said all that, let's go watch the flow.
Hey, Mike, let's start it off with Snap.
All right, so Snap, today we saw the $528.57 calls.
So this morning, when I first seen this coming through, and this went white, purple, yellow, so it was interesting. They just started gobbling up OI. So one of the things that I had pulled up was the 55s for next week. I was in the chat room. I was like, I don't know if I want to go that far out of the money. Ended up not taking the trade. I'm very depressed. I think later in the day, you guys were talking about they're doing a deal with Poshmark, maybe.
A few things came in. They actually announced deals with like 3 or 4 different companies. All that came out today. So there's definitely a lot of headlines on Snap.
If that's one I wish I had the time machine on. If anybody could build that, it would be Elon Musk. So if he could hook us up with that, we'd appreciate it, because I missed this trade only to watch it go, these contracts to go in the money at the end of the day.
Yeah, they started hitting these around like the mid 54s, 54.58, 54.69, and at the end of the day, the last time they hit it, it was at 57.01. After hours, right now, it's still at 57. So definitely, it grabbed a nice move in there today.
For sure. Something me and Mike don't talk about a lot is ETFs. Mike, let's start with SPY.
So SPY, we've got the 716, $424 calls.
Good case of the yawns, Mike. Sorry about that. So we don't usually talk about ETFs a whole lot. Occasionally I'll post them on Twitter, but there was 3 or 4 of these that came in today, and we're going to go through all of these just back to back to back. And this isn't a recommendation that SPY is going to 424 by July 16th, but it was where smart money went into today. They started hitting these at 471 down here. I started noticing them more around $4.95. They hit, over $6 before the day's over. I think by the time I got them posted on Twitter, they were around 523. Yeah, this was, even if you're not a buy and hold type of guy or a swing trader, this produced a good scalp. I mean, seeing that money come in real time, millions of dollars. Again, not a prediction, but just gorgeous looking flow. And right before that was they were hitting stock. Well, actually, let's go to TQQ, Mike. Let's hit TQQ. So this, I think, was a little bit
the 64107s.
Yeah. Now these didn't do quite as well. I think these hit in the $1.40s, but again, triple leveraged Qs, so triple long QQQ. Decent size, not the kind of SPY size we're looking at over there, but for the triple Q long, that's what I call it anyway. That's actually decent size for that. So this caught our attention as well. So to hit SPY and TQQQ definitely caught our attention. And then they were hitting some cheap XLF too, which, so they were hitting a little of everything today. These things, I posted these and just said some cheapies out there. I don't know how they'll do. They've still got till next Friday. I bought 3 contracts at 32 cents on this. We'll see what happens. But interesting, not a ton of size, but it was just another ETF getting action. One that I really liked this today too was SOXL.
So now, this one, they were hitting the 618.33s.
Right. And, this one they got about $1.5 million in, maybe a little more. And if you look at the times on this actually came in first day. It was SOXL, then they hit SPY, then they hit TQQQ, and it was just boom, boom, boom. They were hitting all kinds of ETFs. And this is the first one I posted, because where chips go, the market goes. So we need semis out there running. So this was really good to see. So this definitely had me intrigued early this morning.
And so again, I'm on the West Coast. So this 6:30:34, this is right when the market opened, 6:31, 6:31. So these first 3 right here, these came within a minute and a half of the market opening. They just hit this right away, right as the bell, boom, boom, boom. They came in for 3 of these back to back.
And you can look over there on the chart on the left side of the screen. I mean, they just, the market opened, this started gapping. And then it was just a slow fade all day. Not slow fade, slow grind all day. So that was the first one. Then let's look at some historical real quick, Mike. I've been getting into these ETFs a little bit. One we got grabbed on Tuesday, TAN. So TAN does not get a ton of action. This was a good sweep for TAN. 748,000 above the ask, right at 50 cents. These actually hit over $1 today, or around $1, I think.
Yeah, so here's the chart on it for that specific contract. The high of the day was $1.
Yeah.
So
not bad.
You know, these were in at 50 cents. Today they hit $1. So 100% gain in what, 2 days?
2 days. On this one, we actually went with the 80s instead of the 95. So I remember thinking, this is crazy. That's too far out of the money. So, you know, of course, I'm smarter than smart money. What I do, I took the 80s. Didn't get 100%, but these guys did get 100%. So good job for them. We still had a great trade out of it in the room, even going with the 80s. And I sold that one a little too quick. But again, we followed that smart money. 15,000 contracts at 50 cents. So that one was fun. One more, Mike, SMH. And I believe that was last Thursday we got into this one.
Yeah, these were the 618 240s. And these, they hit these at 370, 365, 373. Here's another one, 991,476, 119. So keep this number in mind, 365, 373, and I'm gonna pull in the chart for that particular contract. Today they hit a high of 825. So this is the chart for that specific contract. 825 is today's high of day. They were buying these at 370, 365, 373. So nice gain on that one as well.
So this is ETFs have been interesting, and actually, you know, especially when you're looking at SMH, SOXL, those kind of lead the way right now. I mean, all the time. They say where semis go, you know, the market goes. So interesting. So that's one I got out earlier in the week, a little bit too early. You can see those went actually in the money today for a few minutes. They went in the money. Didn't close that way, but so you can see those took a 15-point run in a week. So, Mike, I think you was going to talk to us about BX.
Yeah, so BX was interesting today. There was some confusion on this one because it kind of goes against one of the things that we look for. But if you look at the timestamp here, we've got 7:19, and remember, options don't trade pre-market. I'm on the West Coast, so 7:19 is West Coast time. 7:19, 7:19, 7:20, 7:20, 7:21, 21, 21. So all of this happened pretty quick, just boom, 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 boom. They were hitting these back to back. These are the 716.90s. The dollar amounts were 369, 78, 433, 107, 116, 109.96. So decent dollar amounts. Now, the thing that goes against what we teach is actually the contract price. These went the wrong direction, 365, 361, 358, 359, 344. So the contract price is going the wrong direction, which is not something we normally look at. But the fact that they came in that quickly and the dollar amounts is what caught my attention. Now, the other thing here, this is what's interesting on this one. If I pull in the actual options chain. So this section here is what we're looking at. The OI and the volume was 0 for all of this for the morning. So this is the column we're looking at. This is the OI here. Where is it? This is the OI. You can see it's 0 for all of them. So I don't know if this contract wasn't open yet, and then they just made it available today because there's 0 open interest, but there was 0 volume for everything as well. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, they bought these 90s. And it was 4,000 contracts at the time. By the end of the day, you can see the volume was 8,800. So for no activity whatsoever, to all of a sudden they're going for 4,000 contracts of these in that very quick time frame. That just caught my attention there. So I opened this one up at 340. So I got in somewhere around here where it just came in back to back, boom, 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 boom. And by the time I filled, I got this 340 fill here. The algorithm did eventually pick it up and alert it up here at 375. Now, at the end of the day, it did come back towards that 340 price. I think 345 or 350. So it's not down, but it was up to about 380 or so and then came back a little bit. But these are 7/16 expirations, so it's not something I'm expecting to see a move on the same day. But that one definitely caught my eye early in the morning.
I like it. So guys and gals, again, not a recommendation that any of these are going to go to the moon, but something we've seen in the options flow. I'm really starting to like this ETF flow a lot better. Used to, I didn't even watch it that much. Now I'm starting to get into it a little bit more. And even if I'm just using it for day trades and scalps, it's working out pretty well. So, and you know, a couple of these we did hold overnight, TAN and SOXL. So producing some good trades. Again, just following smart money, but doing it with ETFs this week. That's all I got,
that's just
Mike.
another way to use the data, right? It's giving us an overall sentiment. So if they're starting to pile money into all these ETFs, again, it's information about what the big money is doing. Where are they putting this money to use? So we can kind of use some of that information to get an idea of just overall sentiment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Mike, thanks for letting me hang out with you today. And,
anytime.